I'm ready.
Me too.
One more sip here. All right, shit. Let's do this, bitch. This shit rolling. All right, here we go. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Flash and Dash podcast. I am Flash, and with me, as always, my partner in crime, Dash. What's good?
Yo, what's going on? Yeah, how you doing?
Cool. And the best producer in the business, chilling in the wings there for us, Dre Wingate. What's up?
What up? How's it going, y'all?
Cool. So, as usual, you know how we kick things off. Dash, what you been playing over there?
I've been playing.
I see you got that Rogue Company in the bag to talk about.
A little bit of Rogue Company there, but no, man, it's I definitely think it was a PC game for a bit. I was watching it on Twitch for a while. Definitely a PC. But I was watching it on Twitch for a while, and I was having an absolutely fun time watching it just to see, you know, the different characters that they had available, because there's a total of 12, I think. Mm-hmm. 12 total characters already. And it's 4v4. So there's a lot of variety in characters that you'll end up facing, along with the strategy and gameplay that'll take place. The competitive game mode is called Demolition. It's kind of like your Search and Destroy, Counter-Strike type of feel.
Like that.
Yeah, I would actually. But the other game mode is definitely it's this team deathmatch style of game mode where you're respawning. So there's something for you, or there's something for everyone, for that matter. So it's a fun game. It's $15. There's 3 editions: $15, $30, and $60 right now. But it'll be free eventually, from what I hear.
Eventually, that shouldn't need to be on Game Pass. What it sound like?
Potentially, but it's made by the people who made Smite, High Res.
Okay.
So it'll definitely be a game that'll more than likely be free to play, and we'll probably get a lot of funding based off of prior history with Smite and everything. Right. But it's a good game.
That's what's up.
I recommend. What you been on?
Not a damn thing, because we've been doing all this moving, and like I said, all I did was still play that first 5 minutes of Paper Mario. Haven't done shit in that yet.
That was like a week ago.
It was. I've been meaning to get to it and haven't, but I have been playing more of Trivia Royale. I'm now like top 50 in the country, and for the video game category.
Didn't we talk about this game last week?
I'm still beasting.
All right.
So nobody's ready for me in the video game category. Like I can't even get rematches, because people are just like, I destroy somebody and then they just leave. I'm like, come on, man, just run it back.
I'm gonna have to download this and go against you and see.
I mean, right? You can test it. You can test your might if you want to.
If I'm not mistaken, we talked about it in episode 7 of the SGA podcast.
That's
just
correct.
A slight plug right there.
Appreciate that. Thank you, sir. And I believe you are absolutely correct on that. But down to business. We know why we're here. We're not here for anything else to happen. As far as I'm concerned, nothing else happened this week, because we got the Xbox Game Showcase.
Yes, we did. Juicy.
I'm not even gonna kick this off with the natural starting point. I'm gonna come back to that. I'm gonna cycle back to that. Because it should have went last. But again, that was something that I mentioned in one of our previous podcasts, is where, how things went down. I'll talk about that first before I talk about the kind of meat and potatoes of the show. Given what we got at the end with Fable was great, but we kind of knew, like I had mentioned Fable a couple of times, and it wasn't like it came out of left field. It wasn't like, like somebody I mentioned before, it wasn't like, Titanfall 3, right? Or something crazy, like
right.
Knights of the Old Republic. It was like, okay, we kind of knew, like, once we got there, we're like, everybody was like, okay, this is Fable. That's why Fable should have went first. Very much how Miles Morales kind of went first, like, especially when you knew you knew you weren't gonna have any gameplay, you knew you weren't gonna have any like date or anything like that. So lead off the show with Fable. Everybody like, because when you start off with Halo, it leaves the show in a tough spot for everything else to follow that. So you gotta, if you had finished with that, it would have had more of an impact, because it would have been leading up to that. Everybody would have known it was coming. But what we got was exactly what I said we were going to get. We were going to get cinematic into gameplay. It was going to be about 10 minutes, which is roughly around what it was, and that's how it should have went. But before we get into that, there was a lot of things in there mixed in that I thought was great. I mean, we got a lot of exclusives, right? So everybody, the word is always, oh, you ain't got no games. What's the exclusives? What's this? What's that? Okay, here's your exclusives. Okay, they got like 13 of them, right? Like straight, not timed exclusives. There's a bunch of like 5 or 6 timed exclusives, but hard exclusive Xbox Game Studios exclusive to Xbox. About 13 of them, obviously Halo, Fable, Forza, but you got a bunch of other things mixed in there. Avowed being among them. Microsoft acquiring Obsidian kind of stole the show, low key.
They did. They definitely did. They definitely did.
Like Obsidian really came in swinging, and that's a good look. Avowed looks great. I mean, what we saw, a little cinematic, but it gave us a taste of what to expect from that game, which is, you're looking at probably another like kind of magic, swords, open world RPG adventure type game, which is great. Who doesn't love those?
I mean, when I watched the trailer, I literally thought it was that it was Fable.
Right. Exactly.
Like,
you could have
it up, and then the magic spell came through the left hand, and I was like, this looked like Fable, and it low key looked like the underrealm that you started off in Fable 3, where you're underneath and underground. It looked literally just like that, and it was like, oh, some darkness, overtook, and based off of what happened in Fable 3, it just all made sense. And then it was like Avowed, and I was like, oh wow, all right.
Right, and then we,
I guess we already knew that because it was rolling in, and it said that they were Obsidian titles going in.
Yeah, I mean, we got that. We got Everwild. Everwild looks.
Everwild looks probably the sleeper.
Right, and nobody knows what it is. Nobody knows what
does it look like a 4-player co-op with some magic. They was doing a ritual with the
it looks
deer.
Beautiful. It is, but
looks outstanding.
Facts. 100% facts.
The art, whoever they could win an award off of this art style in this video game.
Right. That's
quality the art is.
Another game exclusive title, State of Decay 3. Which obviously we just got a little cinematic, but that was kind of a surprise because nobody was expecting to see State of Decay 3 announcement.
Slight Easter egg with which I've been talking with a couple of other people about, which is potentially that the player or the woman that was in the cinematic trailer is the same woman that is in the story portion of State of Decay. That same character with that same, facial structure and that lip design.
Okay.
But it was a nice little. I think that the survival aspects is the only thing missing in State of Decay. So you have your go out and grab loot. You bring it back to your base. You fight and level up. You level up by doing something. So if you want to level up your sprinting or your stamina, you're running. Your combat, fighting, shooting, looting, all of that. So you're leveling up each of these characters. They all have specializations. But when you actually go out to go and loot and fight zombies and clear out whatever you have to clear out, outside of managing your thirst, that's only not even your thirst. You're managing your stamina, which you can gain back with coffee or caffeine pills, whatever the game allows you to make. You are literally left with just that, and that's the only thing that the game literally forces you to manage. So actually going out into the wild, potentially having to fight those animals that they put in the game, manage your temperature, manage your body temperature. All of those things would be quite interesting in a game like State of Decay to add that survival aspect outside of just managing, your little home front back on the home.
Correct. and that looks let's see how that does. But again, another exclusive title. We got a bunch of other random things kind of mixed in. Got Hello Neighbor 2, which again, Hello Neighbor is, from what I'm concerned, was very successful. Kind of snuck in. It was like, oh, what's this like stealth thing? And it was very popular from what I'm to understand. There was a lot of people playing it on, YouTube and all those outlets, Twitch and all that stuff. And a lot of kids played it. And a lot of adults played it. Like Hello Neighbor was very popular. So to get a Hello Neighbor 2 and it be an exclusive title is, again, another big win for Microsoft in that sense of things. You got what's that, Exomecha? Kind of, again, another game that was very like, looks like a tech demo. The Exomecha. It's like a first person. It's got like mechs and is like shooting, and it's like I'm not sure if this one was at the early part of the show or if it was in the pre-show. I don't remember, but
I think it might have been in the pre-show.
It might have been in the pre-show. I don't remember 100%, but that's another game that's looks like it could be whatever. It could be like something you just play as fun. You don't really spend a lot of time with it, but you'll be done with it. We got information kind of on Forza Motorsport. Just knowing that it's there is enough, and you got some slick little quick in-game engine footage. It's like, okay, that's dope. That's what you expect. You expect to see that tech racer that's going to show off.
That's all Gran Turismo was in the Sony.
Exactly, it's the same thing. So that's a wash. Talk to me when we get a Forza Horizon. It's funny because some of the people
I like Motorsport so much better, bro.
I listen to. No, I mean, look, it might. That depends on who you talk to. Okay, like Motorsport is great because it's a true racing simulation. If you want that, then it's amazing. And you're not going to get any better than that. Horizon is for the other crowd, which is the me crowd, the crowd that plays like Burnout Paradise and shit like that, where it's like, okay, I like the physics aspect, but I don't need it to be like I'm actually driving a car. Like, no, I'm good on that. Like, give me the boost and all that crap. Like, the real fast, unrealistic driving. Like, it's like realistic but unrealistic at the same time because the cars still hold, their proper physics and in ratios. One of the things one of the ideas I heard out there that would be a great idea for them to toy around with is to drop the numbers from Horizon and just tagline it with wherever their next area is. Like Forza Horizon Australia, Forza Horizon Japan, Forza Horizon. Like that I think would be dope because that's really the biggest selling point of Forza Horizon. Yeah. It's like what's the area of this because it's an open world racer that you're exploring. There's shit to do around there, but it's missions and all that stuff, but you're exploring that world, whatever it is. It's London, it's Australia, it's wherever. Like that's the core function part of the game. And I think just dropping the number and just that makes it a lot like, okay. And it also allows them to, like, I think churn them out faster and whenever they want, because it'll always be a Game Pass title. It'll just they could drop it every 6 months. Like, here's another Forza, his Forza LA. Like, there you go. Just, do what you want with that. Like, like I think that would be a dope idea for them to do. But again, it's Forza. It'll be exclusive forever as long as Microsoft's making games. Like
always and forever.
Right. I mean, we got Tell Me Why, which is the company Don't Nod, which did all the Life is Strange games, which were hugely successful games. That's coming, exclusive title. Getting Grounded.
Ayo, can't wait. That's in what? Hold on.
Dope as fuck.
That's in 3 days.
And that's coming. That's right around the corner. That's actually one of the few games that actually has a date. And
definitely gonna be live streaming some content for that. And
Grounded is dope.
Gonna be getting the homies together, and we're gonna be in there taking on some bugs and building our little fortresses.
I mean, I'm for it. I think it's a dope concept. And again, Game Pass is great, and we'll get into that a little bit. But As Dusk Falls, which looks kind of dope too. It's like that indie interactive type game where it's got the two families playing out over 30 years.
Almost like a Telltale game kind of feel.
again, it's dope. It's dope because these are the type of, like, I don't care. Again, I'm trying to get away from getting into, the spiffs with people about, oh, this system got this and this system got that. But it's like the people that have those conversations, okay, these are the games that you keep saying that Microsoft can't do or that they're not there. These are those games. Like, literally, like, these are those games that are the exact counterpart for what Sony is doing. Even a game like Echo Generation, which is a game that was in the pre-show, exclusive title, little adventure joint that looks like very Stranger Things, right? So it's like, here's those games. So, like, they're like, Sony's not the only company that can make exclusive indie, like, original IP games. Like,
correct. So I feel like we own that landscape or that area in gaming anyway right now, the indie market.
Yeah.
I think I grabbed a hold of that probably like 4 years ago.
Yeah. The Medium, got that. That looks dope. That's actually coming out.
So the Medium, that looks like a very exquisite title.
It does.
I don't even actually know what to truly expect. There's so many questions I got. I'm thinking in like, are these two characters that you actually get to play? Is this more of a story-driven, just role-playing game, or is this RPG elements involved in this? Because in the dream world, she had this little arm thing going on. I don't know if that's going to be something you can level up or be able to see better in this, see the different dimension better with different level up or different skills. So I'm really intrigued with the Medium, and I really can't wait to get my hands on that. But I laughed when I saw this one. How hard are you about to be on the Tetris Effect?
Bro, Tetris Effect connected. Let's go. Let's get anybody who wants it can come get it. Flash Extreme on Xbox Live. Look,
I will not be on Tetris.
You won't be because you trash at Tetris. So,
I mean, I probably will watch you anyway, but it's fine.
Don't do that.
I'd rather play something else.
Tetris Effect connected. I'm going to be all on that. Tetris Effect is dope as it is. I mean, I didn't play. It was on other things, so I didn't really get into it like that. But I've been playing a lot of, well, not recently, but I had been playing a lot of Tetris 99 because I have that on my Switch still. Tetris is just
You ever catch a dub in that?
Tetris, no, I've got some seconds and some thirds a couple times, but no, I still have yet to. It is hard as getting a win in Tetris 99 is hard as shit. It is nowhere close to like getting a win in like Warzone or PUBG or like getting a win in those is like, okay, yeah, you can get it, but getting a win in Tetris 99 is like those things times 10. It's hard as shit to get a win in Tetris 99.
I can only imagine the type of people you're going against
that
in
shit
there.
Is
so.
crazy. But yeah, I'm gonna be on that. But here's my thing in general. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, tell me what is your, outside of Halo, what is the title you're most excited about?
Probably Avowed. Like Avowed again, Obsidian.
But for me, like that's the same type of games that y'all be like, nah.
It is, but I'll play it,
like,
and then
no,
I'll go.
You dead ass gonna play this game for like.
Problem is
10 days, not even 10 days, 3 days, and never gonna pick it up again.
Because I'm gonna quickly realize I don't have time to invest, which is why every time I went to start playing The Witcher, I was like, nope, don't have time. Which is like when I fired up Outer Worlds originally. Oh, we're getting that also, Outer Worlds expansion.
Which is bigger than anybody ever expected, by the way.
Like when I started playing Outer Worlds, I was like, man, I'm enjoying this game. Can't keep playing it though. I don't have time. Like it's just these games is like these are games that the 10-year ago version of myself would be like, yeah, let's do it because I don't have shit else to do except go to work. So let me play this 2 weeks straight and get in 90 hours and bang this out and then get back to something else. I can't do that anymore. Would I like to do that? Yes, I would, but I would,
Mm-hmm.
but I can't. But I'll play. And here's the thing. That's why, like I said, Avowed is great. Avowed looks, like it. The premise looks like it's gonna be great. The biggest thing is that it's not gonna matter because all this shit is on Game Pass. So,
Oh, damn.
you want to make them really mad. All of this is on Game Pass. I don't gotta buy any of these for $60 and then get mad that I spent $60 on a game that's not worth $60 or $70. So, Game Pass. We can agree that Game Pass is unequivocally the best deal in gaming. Period. Like,
Yeah.
There's no deal better than Game Pass. Like, okay. Like, I want everybody to understand that, because for $15, and you can get deals where you're not even spending that $15 a month. You can get a 3-month pass for like, the last 3-month pass I bought was like $25 or $35 or something like that. Like,
Thanks.
So it's like, for that $15 a month retail, you get, and this is Game Pass Ultimate I'm talking about, you get access to all the games that are on Game Pass, all the games that are on Game Pass PC, because mind you, let's keep in mind that Gears of War Tactics is on the Game Pass PC, not on the Game Pass on your Xbox.
Correct.
So, and along with that, you get access to Xbox Live Gold, which, by the way, they've done away with the 12-month subscription. The rumor is that Microsoft is getting ready to make Xbox Live Gold free service as they continue to push, people getting into the infrastructure and getting Game Pass. That's their thing, where they're like, okay, well, why should we charge for Xbox Live Gold when we really want you to get Game Pass Ultimate? That's what we really want you to buy. So forget the separate Xbox Live Gold, which is why they're not selling 12-month subscriptions anymore. Just get Game Pass Ultimate. Microsoft is doing everything in its power to push that on everybody, because guess what? And this is what I've said before. This is what I'm going to continue to say. There's no console wars anymore. It's a race. It's not a war, because everybody's got a different lane. Microsoft has, Nintendo picked the lane 10 years ago. Okay. They were moving in a different direction from Sony and Microsoft 10 years ago. So they picked a separate lane a long time ago. So Sony and Microsoft has been doing this. And for the past few years, the last generation leading into this one, Microsoft was getting ready to pick a different lane. And this shift to the next generation and what they've, put on display in this showcase, and how much they told you, okay, everything we're going to show you in this showcase, you can get on Game Pass. You can get Halo Infinite day one on Game Pass. We don't even care if you buy a Series X, because guess what? You can play Halo Infinite on your Series X. You can play Halo Infinite on your Xbox One X. Still, you can play Halo Infinite on our unnamed console that we haven't revealed yet. But they don't care if you get the box. They want you in the ecosystem. Get Game Pass, because their thought process is, okay, they're not going to take an L if you buy a subscription to Game Pass and you play Halo and you're like, I might buy an Xbox. If you weren't somebody that weren't thinking about upgrading to the new one, or maybe you're playing it on your PC. Maybe you have a PC, you're like, let me try out this Game Pass. And you play and you're like, I think I should buy an Xbox. That's Microsoft's whole bet. And not only that, also recently announced is that for Game Pass Ultimate subscribers, that's going to be, and I said this before, I said this months ago, that xCloud function is going to be integrated into Game Pass. They made that official. So guess what? You got Game Pass Ultimate. You now have, you whip out your phone or your tablet or whatever, your laptop, and stream it, and seamlessly. Because I've done this. And the biggest thing is that it's going to be the word. Now, they haven't finalized that yet, but it'll be your Game Pass, whatever games are in that Game Pass library, plus whatever games you own that you've purchased digitally, obviously. So, like, anything that you buy digitally or is on Game Pass, you can play on your phone with a controller, with an Xbox Bluetooth controller. Like, what?
You
kidding me? Like, and that's my point. My point is that the bigger picture is that Microsoft has a lane, and they've put their flag in the ground, proverbially speaking. Like, they've chosen it, just like Nintendo chose their lane. Microsoft has chosen their lane. Like, yo, it's not about the box anymore. It's about getting into the ecosystem and playing the games wherever you want to play them. You want to play them on your phone? Cool. You want to play on your tablet? Cool. Laptop? Cool. You want to play it on this generation Xbox or the last one? That's cool too. I mean, yes, that won't last forever, because I'm sure eventually there'll be games a couple of years, 2-3 years from now, that will graphically be incapable of running on a 1X. You'll need to have a newer system to maybe play those, but we're a ways off from that. So Microsoft is like, yo, you don't need to drop $400 or $500 on a new console. The one you have now, keep using that, but make sure you get Game Pass. Game Pass. That's it. Sony's like, yo, you have to buy the box. Yeah, but I got all these games that no, you need to buy the new one.
Need that.
I have to? Yes. You want to play God of War 2? Well, yeah, I want. Yeah, okay. You have to buy the new one. No questions asked. Okay. I wasn't ready to. Doesn't matter if you were ready to or not. I don't care.
I guess.
And Nintendo, we already know what Nintendo does. Nintendo got the mobile game on lock. Eventually they'll figure out how to have two versions of the Switch. The Lite will be their mobile. The whatever the new Switch will be the more of their home console. I think they'll evolve the main console Switch into something more stay at home. And I've mentioned this before, and just let the Lite be strictly the mobile device. We'll see. I think they'll test it. Kind of like how they used the Wii U as a test to figure out if the Switch was going to work. Because the Wii U was an absolute failure from the consumer standpoint. But from Nintendo's eyes, they were like, yo, so you guys like the controller, but we understand you didn't get any games. But you like the controller thing, right? And everybody was like, yeah, the controller thing is cool. They were like, all right, cool.
Got it.
This isn't what we really wanted to do. We just want to make sure you liked it first. Here's what we really wanted you to have. You're like, oh, this is dope. But yeah, so Game Pass, look, if you don't have Game Pass, you're doing it wrong anyway. So have Game Pass and, all that shit. So that's going to lead me into the king of the show, the king of the Xbox showcase. Oh, I think I got some technical difficulties going on here. Hold on a minute. Hold on, let me all right, let me make sure. Oh man, let me get that back going again. Okay. All right, so the King Chief is back.
All right, you ain't had no technical difficulties.
Master Chief is back in the building. Let's put everybody on notice. Chief is back.
I clearly don't belong here.
The Chief is back. We're putting everybody on notice. We've been doing this. I told you, for them to do it the right way, Halo had to look like Halo. And let me tell you what, Halo Infinite looks like Halo. This is the Halo that we wanted. This is akin to the throwback, the original Halo 1, the original trilogy. This is what we've been asking for. Whatever we got in Halo 5, we didn't want that. Halo 4 was okay. This is what the Halo 4 and 5 were akin to the prequels of Star Wars. Not as bad, but in the same in the same vein where the original trilogy was far superior, and Halo Infinite is our Force Awakens. Halo Infinite is bringing Halo back to justice, and it is about time. I am very excited. I loved every second of that gameplay. I don't care how it looked. I don't care how people say, oh, this, it looked kind of flat. It looked a little this, it looked a little bullshit. Halo is out here and it's taking names. You can't tell me that when that panned out and you got a full view of that ring, it was looking beautiful when the Warthog made the jump off the – look, don't even get me started on that. That is true Halo. Everything about that just screams Halo, okay? So Halo is back to put the end of 2020 on notice for games. Halo Infinite Game of the Year. Heard it here first.
Mic drop.
Because you got.
Oh, are you done? No, go ahead.
Weapons. You got the grappling hook is back from Halo 3. You know, like I said, you got the weapons looking slick. Just throwbacks. Just looking good. Looking clean. Running over aliens, running over grunts. Oh, man, it was a beautiful thing. It was a sight. Just to hear the Chief again. It's a beautiful thing. The Chief is back. He's back in the building officially. Not that Halo 5 shit. We don't want that. We're back. The Chief is back. Let's go. Very excited.
All right. Well, as much as I would have loved to see a polished game, because that was my only real gripe with it.
Sure.
I mean,
it's an early build.
If you're gonna come with it, if you come with mic drop moments, make them what it should be. Because I'm looking at it and I'm watching the trailer like, damn, this shit look dope. And then I'm looking at the banished character, he all up in the screen, and I'm looking at him and I'm like, this it didn't look finished, and I was like, it didn't look polished.
And then the stream didn't help the fact that you're never gonna get
correct. And I always keep that in the back of my head, like I'm watching a video of a stream in my own home through another screen, through my own internet. Like I get all of that, but even so, I'm just looking for
when you run it back from their channel on 4K,
correct
60 FPS, all that shit.
I'm the nitpicky graphics guy. When Skyrim first dropped and I walked up out of the cave, I'm looking all up at the sky. I'm looking at the grass because it's never the bushes. They never looked like that before in the video game, or at least one that I've really played. And then going here and I'm looking here and I'm looking at the banished guy's face, that commander. And I'm looking to see, maybe some snot coming from his nose. His nose was all dry. His mouth was dry. And I was just like, his gums look dry. And when I'm thinking he should be like slobber from the mouth or some shit because his teeth is all jacked up. But besides the point, all I know is that when they did pan out and you saw the ring, that was the biggest selling point for me, to see Halo on that scale. And have that beauty and that depth, and to know when it comes out, it'll have the aesthetic and quality that I would like, and that so many other people would want to see. Not necessarily you, because you don't give a damn about no damn graphics. You just want to play.
And that's the thing.
So I know we want Halo, right? We want Halo.
We just want Halo. We want the gameplay.
And I think we got Halo, and graphics aren't going to be a concern here.
It's never been about, the hardcore technical graphical aspects of the game. It's never been about, like, Breath of the Wild is a masterpiece game. It's a 10 out of 10. But it's not a graphically impressive game. It just isn't. It's a masterpiece of a game. The technical aspects of the game are phenomenal. The gameplay is flawless. So Nintendo has taught us time and time again that games that play well, graphics don't mean shit if games play well. Because nobody's playing Breath of the Wild for graphics. Nobody's playing Mario Odyssey for graphics. Is the shit colorful and it looks nice? Yeah. But nobody's playing it because of how great it looks. Nobody's playing those games for that. You're playing those games because of how good the gameplay is. And that's what here That's where we return to form with the Chief, Halo Infinite. And I like the fact that we got little tidbits that it's like, okay, there are going to be upgrades, which is not something that was in the game before. Trust me, I promise you. I'm a Halo.
Oh yeah, you won't upgrade nothing. You literally just
there was no upgrades
with
in
your
Halo.
weapon.
You just pick up shit off the ground, like, all right,
Yeah,
shit, let's
like
go.
That's what I was waiting on. I've
Pick
been
your shit
waiting
up
on
off the
Halo. I
bodies.
could upgrade some shit that I got on my person, but it was always you were there for the story. You were always in the campaign.
Upgrade.
Then you hopped in the multiplayer right after.
Right. It was in the pause menu. They got upgrades in there. We got, they panned out and gave us a view of the map where you can select waypoints. So Halo Infinite is going to have it's not going to be open world, but it's not going to be as linear as previous Halo games. It will have exploration elements, which is not something Halo had before. Halo was just like, go this way, shoot shit. Like that that was Halo, like go this way and maybe go around this brick wall here, and maybe you got a little tunnel right here, but you're not exploring anything. Yeah. This game will have exploration elements. You'll have waypoints, stuff to go. If they have little clusters of enemies where you can maybe find those upgrades, find equipment, find those things. Like, this is it. This is the game that Microsoft has been, I don't want to say they've been promising us, but this is the game that they needed. As I've been saying, this is the game that Halo needed to be. It needed to be Halo with a modern aspect. And that type of exploration and those type of modern elements, that's all it has to be. You have original style Halo with those modern kind of elements and whatever. And they even show multiplayer yet. So in the coming months, we'll get multiplayer. Who knows what that's going to look like, right? So it's like
they're definitely going to have a large scale battle type of thing going. I'm sure.
Tell you what, I'm sure I'm sure for time, like not this game. I can guarantee you, Infinite won't have like a battle royale type mode, but I think future installment type thing, they'll find a way to implement that somehow. I don't think it can be cookie cutter as some of the other companies do it, where it's just like throw 100 people in there and just like there and just let it go. Like, you got to do something unique. It's got to be something very unique to Halo. It's got to be, because other companies have figured out how to make the system unique. Apex Legends is a great example. They figured out how to make that mode unique. It's not just, okay, last person stand. They've got classes and the different characters, and they do different things. Like Warzone, giving kudos to Call of Duty because they've even figured out how to make it unique, right? You got all these contracts, you got all these different, all these upgrades, all these different things you can do while the match is happening that can help you progress throughout the course of the match, not just PUBG style. Let me just hide upstairs in the bedroom corner and just wait this shit out. Like, and that was the original like model, where it's like all the companies were like, okay, how can we? And even Fortnite, which I hate, it's not just who can survive the longest and who's the best shooter, it's who's the best builder, really. Like, that's if you can build, if you can build well while moving and shooting, then you'll be very successful in that game. But these companies are figuring out how to make that battle royale mode unique. And I think if 343 can take their time and figure out how to make Halo have a mode that is unique to Halo in that way, maybe it doesn't even have to be 100. Maybe it could be like 50.
Does it need to be a battle royale?
It doesn't have to. It really doesn't. It can be something it can be a survival type mode that doesn't necessarily have to be battle royale.
And I wasn't even thinking on the terms of survival. I was thinking about this kind of grander scale, almost like a conquest, but in a way that feels almost like Smite in a way, where it feels like Halo Wars almost, where you kind of you're pitted against your enemy. They got maybe 16, 20 guys over there. You can have your warthogs. You have this. You have that. You're capturing these points. Every time you die, you have money to earn an upgrade. You can upgrade yourself. You upgrade your warthog, whatever. But you keep trying to destroy flags until you get to the main base, which will have defenses that your team might have dumped in to upgrade, and all of those kind of things, just to help with to compound upon the grander scale map idea.
Right.
Just to have that open world-ish Halo where you can incorporate more vehicles and all of those types
Halo
of things.
got vehicles.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like they have to use vehicles, but I feel like the next step isn't bigger in battle royale aspect. I feel like it might be bigger in just the fight itself.
Sure. I mean, and Halo games multiplayer have always had a big battle mode because they had to have modes that included the vehicles.
Yeah.
Had your close quarters deathmatch, and they had different variants, on their multiplayer gameplays, and of course, and then they've got the big battles because you have to use the bigger maps and you have to use the vehicles because those are things that are very akin to Halo and very from the game's roots, on the Warthog and the Banshee and the Ghost and the tank. These things have to be used somewhere somehow.
Yeah.
I'm just very excited to see what we get multiplayer wise. I'm also excited we get a date, but again, I don't think we're gonna get a date until the console gets a date, because Halo will be. There's no reason for me to believe otherwise that it'll be a day one drop for when the Series X comes out. Like, there's no reason for me to believe otherwise.
I was about to ask if you knew of any other event that was supposed to be happening in August, because that's when at least I suspect, and I know a few other people suspect that they'll.
I feel like they have something going on in August. I'm not sure.
Because I know that's when both of these companies are going to release it. I feel like it's not going to just be, hey, we're going to pop up on Twitter one day. Hey, guys, it's available for pre-order now. I feel like I got to be at an award show.
That's a Nintendo move.
Right. I feel like I got to be at an award show or some conferences coming up.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know I don't know when the Summer Gaming Fest ends officially. I know Jeff Keighley has been, his Summer Game Fest thing that he's been coordinating is, I don't know how long it runs until. I feel like there was events happening in August, but again, I don't remember. And if there is, I think that would be a good time for them to say, okay, here's the console date and the price. And because between Microsoft and Sony, even at Phil Spencer's own admission, they're not in direct competition anymore, but nobody wants to go first on price anyway.
Facts.
Even with that admission, I think because I think Sony still views Microsoft as direct competition. I think Microsoft has already removed themselves from that fight. They're like, well, y'all fighting. I mean, we've turned our back on this fight already. So we're going in a different direction. You can keep fighting if you want to, but you're fighting by yourself down here. Like, Microsoft is already which I think why they won't care as much if they drop a date and a price. But again, I told you, my prediction is that they'll give you a Series X price and a date to force Sony's hand in this particular, bout. And then once Sony does that, then they can reveal their
Series S Lockhart.
Exactly. And give a price on that too. And say, just because if they say, okay, the Series X is 500, Sony's going to be like, okay, the PS5 is 450, which we know it can't be. I don't even see how that would be profitable for them. But
no, I feel like they would match it if we went 5.
They would say 5 also.
Yeah, they would.
And then Microsoft would be like, okay, cool. Well, here's a Lockhart or Series S for 300.
Yeah, $200 less.
That's exactly what that would be, I think. And again, for me, I wouldn't mind. I would buy that if I needed to, like, because if the biggest difference between those two consoles is that 4K capability, I'm not at a point where I need 4K yet because I have nothing. I own nothing that is 4K like I own no 4K TV.
For me, I think it's more for me because these consoles are actually 8K compatible that are actually coming out.
Right. I mean, because the Xbox One X is 4K.
Yeah.
So
like outside of that, for me,
and nobody's doing anything in 8K.
Yeah. So for me, like
before that happened.
Yeah, at least 4. I just really feel like that it's more about the interconnectivity and compatibility with the streaming and the SSD that it has and the power of that.
Like, because that would be
that's what got me interested in the console was that power in that way.
I'll give you that. That would be that would be a bigger selling point for me is the inner specs of how does this console erase or completely minimize load times? What is the refresh like on this? What is the that? Those are the things that would speak more to me because I don't give a shit about 4K, quite frankly. But those are the things like, okay, is there a big difference between this console and this console when it comes to load time, when it comes to refresh, when it comes like, okay, that's a different conversation altogether.
Okay, so tell you what, will you buy it if the Series S does not have the active refresh, I think it's called, or where the game can sit in the background?
No.
While you do all that other shit?
No, because that's one of the selling points for me.
Yeah. Okay. So I feel like that might be one of them. So I feel like you might be ass out here, boss.
I mean, look, it is what it is. I mean, if I gotta sell my 1X, I gotta sell my 1X. Because
I'm really trying to hold on to it.
I had that thought in my head where I was like, should I hold on to it? But I'm like, what's the point? This is the dilemma that you always run into unless you're a collector. If you're a collector, it's a no-brainer. But if you're not a collector, like when you have one console and they're like, it's like when I sold my
But I'm thinking I'm thinking, okay, just for that, I'm thinking literally, I'm not really lugging that big ass fucking box nowhere. So I'm thinking that this Xbox One X is gonna be my travel console outside of using xCloud.
That's a thought.
Outside of using xCloud,
that's what
you
have.
See,
that's Microsoft.
I mean, that's what I would have. I mean, yes, correct. I mean, yes, obviously. But if I don't want to just play on my phone
or your laptop,
this would be my travel console on my laptop.
Yeah, but Microsoft. But again, like I said, Microsoft is like, nah, chill. You don't even got to do that. Just play on your laptop, bro.
When they release it for iOS, maybe I damn will. They had a closed beta for that, like 6. They had a closed beta like 6 months ago for the app for Apple. It might still be going.
That's the problem with owning proprietary.
Right, get on that.
That's the problem.
Best producer in the business.
Devices.
iOS.
My bad. I was answering Sladro. What's the question?
iOS for xCloud. I need updates because I haven't had any updates for like at least 4 or 5 months.
All right.
This is why. And again, I don't get. I try to go left in phone debate conversations because I tell people you like what you like and what's for you is for you. But that stuff like that is why I would never go back. I had the original iPhone. I had it unlocked because I've had T-Mobile since I got my own cell phone service. We're talking like 15 years ago, 20 years ago, however long ago it was. I've been a T-Mobile customer since the day I had my own cell phone service playing in my own name. So the first iPhone when it came out, my boy hooked it up and he was like, yo, you can throw your SIM card in there. I was like, all right, bet. And I was like, okay, and yes, I'm not going to say that from then to now that it hasn't gone through a light year's worth of changes. I understand that. but just the infrastructure, just how we got to this point in the conversation, stuff like that is why I can't have an iPhone, because I need my devices to be open source.
Here's your update. And this is as early as 1 week ago. So they've been in ongoing discussions with Apple over the app. The plan is that every single device out there will be capable of running xCloud, but at the launch in this September, it won't be available on every single device. But the plan is that every single device, so no matter what system you're running, no matter what device, whether it's a phone, tablet, laptop, whatever, their plan is every device.
I can put it on my laptop, so it's good. I'm really good.
There you go.
We'll have it. But for Apple specifically, there's no set hard date as to, if xCloud launches in September, we'll have it in October, November, whatever. Like, there's no hard date yet. And I don't think, to be honest, just to throw my 2 cents in, because it's such a huge deal, I don't think they'll even announce it until that could be something Apple announces when they announce the next iPhone, or that might not be something that they would even announce till closer to the September time. I don't think we'll get a date as of right now.
I mean, to be honest though, that would also be a great way for Apple to bank some more money off of Microsoft's back, even though they low-key kind of in competition in some way, shape, or form.
I think you can say they're in competition, but I think people are kind of,
from a computer standpoint,
some people are kind of set in their ways of, they know if they're Apple or if they're
that's the thing.
It's more of like the new people, like when someone new is getting a cell phone or when someone new is getting a laptop, which way do they go? But I think outside of that, everyone else is still firm in what their belief already is.
Yeah, and Dre is absolutely right. Like, you've picked a lane at this point. You either an iPhone.
Well, some people are switching.
Or
a few people switching.
Like, or you're an Android person, and that's and that's the thing. Like, it's very definitive, because it's like when you're an iPhone person, you have one option. You have an Apple iPhone. Like, when you're an Android person, you can be like, all right, you can test the waters.
Yeah.
You can get an LG, you can get a Samsung, you can get Pixel, you can get whatever. Like, there are a little bit more options for you to explore that source. Apple's just it's just, this is your option, and here's the device, and you don't have any other options. And our device can do this, and we can't let you do things to it. Okay, you're not allowed. On literally on settings on my phone, I can go to one of the settings, and it says, you slide the tab, and it'll be like, okay, allow third-party app installation. Like, that's shit that you can't do with an iPhone because it doesn't let you. There's no option for that. Apple's like, no, you can't. If it's not in the App Store, no. Like, with an Android, if it's not in the Play Store and it's on some website and it's like, yo, download this app, you're like, okay, cool. And the app is like, oh, hold on, just make sure you allow this real quick. Oh, okay, cool, no doubt. The Apple's just like, no, you can't. You just can't do it. I'm sorry. And we're not sorry, but you just can't. So it's like, I'm just like, and that's, for me, that's just the biggest thing, because I've always been a PC guy, and I'll never not be a PC guy, because I need to, if I need to tinker something, I need to know I can do it myself. I don't need to be like, all right, well, I got to make an appointment. I got to take it to the dude. He's got to look at it, and they got to keep my shit for how long Aaron didn't have his goddamn laptop. Like,
well, in Apple's defense of that, Aaron did that because he wanted to save money.
Not fair.
Like, he could have done it faster, but he would have had to pay more money.
Fair.
And then the other thing that, I mean, I don't care either way. Like, I use both systems, but just to play devil's advocate. So what Apple will just have you do, and it doesn't necessarily work with their phones, but this is more so for like the Mac and the iMac, or the MacBook and the iMac. If you want more power, if you want more space, they literally tell you, like when you're building the computer online, they're like, look, don't necessarily build this for now. Build this for what you think you will completely use this computer for. Like, don't use it for everything that you do now. So like when I use a Mac or my MacBook to do all my editing stuff. So I knew when I got it, I was like, okay, I need more than 256 gigs of storage space. I need to make sure I've got the best processor that they've got available for it. So I just max it out, and then once I max it out, I see what the price is, and if you need to make a variation in price from there, you start seeing where can you sacrifice and certain stuff like that.
True.
So then you don't have to worry about having to tinker with different things, buying different components, and then something not working, or if something goes wrong, you've got to replace all these different things. So in Apple's defense, or just play devil's advocate, that's their thought process behind all that. Build for what you want, and then 5-10 years or so, depending on what device you're going to replace it anyway.
And in fairness, with PCs, because I've done it, so I know, because my desktop is a smooth 12 years old at this point. But when I got it, it had expansive capabilities because the port had, it's got this many ports and it's upgradable to this many whatever, like gigabyte of RAM. And you can, the beauty of PC is that I was able to take the plate off the side, look inside and go, all right, let me unscrew this shit right here. I had to change out one of the hard drives. So I changed out one of the hard drives died like 6 years ago. So I was like, all right, get a new hard drive. Boop, slip that in, plug it into the motherboard. Okay. Then I changed the video card like twice. So when I upgraded the video card, went to turn the shit on, like, all right, it's not turning on. Why is it not turning on? And it was like, yo, well, what you didn't realize with this new video card is you needed more power. You need to change the power supply. Oh, bet. All right, went back to the store, got a new power supply, screwed that shit, plugged it in, plugged that shit into the motherboard, boop, flipped it on. Okay, we're good to go. Like, do I need to change out the RAM? Cool, no problem. I could just buy the RAM. The shit plugs right into the motherboard. It's got like 2 slots. Plug it right into the motherboard, secure it. It's got like a little snap. You secure it. Turn it back on. You got more memory. Like, I can do this shit myself. Like, I don't like, like I want to be able to do it myself. Like, and just do it. Like, I don't need to I just need the price. I just need to buy the component. It's like when you're a mechanic and you know how to fix cars and you can just do this shit yourself. You can just go buy the parts. You don't need to take it to somebody, buy the part, pay for labor, pay for this, wait to get your shit back. That's Apple. Apple is like not knowing anything about cars and having to take it to a mechanic. Like, you're going to get screwed. Like, unless you have a good ass mechanic and that's your person that you've been dealing with for a long time and they're not going to screw you, you're going to get screwed. And not to make Apple sound like the worst thing on the world, but I'm just saying that process in my head is insane. I'm like, yo, I can do it myself. Just let me do it. They're like, no, you can't. I don't like being told I can't do this shit because I can. I'm not a fucking rocket scientist. I know a little bit about tech. I know enough where when I bought that computer originally, I brought it home, I plugged everything in, and I was like, and went to turn it on, nothing happened. I was like, mind you, this is like 10, 15 years ago. I was like, okay, what's the problem? So most people, what is 90% of people are going to do what?
Take it a shot.
Take it back to the store. Yo, this shit's not turning on. What did I do? I was like, well, let me open this shit up. That was my first thought. Mind you, I got it from the job at Best Buy at the time. It was a mile down the road. I could have I was like, let me just open this shit up. What was the problem?
I was about to say, when ended up being wrong?
Power supply wasn't plugged into the motherboard.
Very good.
So it's just a common manufacturing problem, but most people don't know that. So it's like there's shit that when PCs get shipped out, some things in manufacturing get missed, like they forget to plug something in. So I was like, oh, shit's not plugged in. Plugged it in, shit turned on. I was like, oh, we're in business. But I was like, I just don't like being told I can't do the shit. Just let me do it. Like, don't charge me more because you tell me I have to let you do it. No, I can do it.
I feel that.
That would be like literally the flip side of that. Again, it's like buying a car having all the knowledge, being a mechanic, having all the knowledge of, let's say it's the new hot shit, and you're like, yo, I know this, I can do anything I need to do, and they're like, you can't. If anything needs to get done, you need to change the oil, you have to bring it back. You're like, no, it's just change the oil. I could do that. No, you need to bring it here. We're going to and we're going to charge you twice as we're going to charge you for the oil and the labor. Like, yo, I can do it. They're like, no, we don't care. You got to bring it here. It's like, what? That shit is crazy. Like, for me, it's the same thing. Like, it's the same thing. Like, my phone, same shit. Like, but again, and it's not to say like Apple's not, those devices aren't great, because I see them in action. They're great, but they got too many restrictions. That's my only problem with Apple shit. It's got too many restrictions.
I feel that.
They're great for what they do. They're amazing. They don't hiccup. They don't have any like real issues and shit like that. But there's just too many restrictions. I understand that's part of the process as to why those devices don't have those type of problems, because they aren't open sourced. And I get that, but I still want to do shit myself. Because if something goes wrong, I'd be like, okay, I know how to, I can figure out how to troubleshoot this shit. And if all else fails, then, which is rare. I say rare, like I've never had like a phone like go dead. I've got phones from like 10 years ago sitting in the drawer that still work. Like they're just there. It's just like they work fine. Samsung phones, Nokia phones, just sitting there. They function fine and run with no problem. I'm like, shit doesn't just break.
Facts.
The shit works as it works. Anyway, get Game Pass. They cut back to all of that.
Propose the Game Pass. We have come full circle, ladies and gentlemen.
Game Pass, so you can get down with the chief day one, whenever day one actually is.
Or just game share with Reed.
I mean, we could do that. I mean, yeah, because me and Dre got our game share going on, and like, man, is that just games that are purchased? Like, I feel like
it's so, from what I heard, it's games that are games on Game Pass right now, and they're working to see if they'll be able to support the games in your library.
So Game Pass games get shared too?
From what I understand, they do.
Is that true, Dre? Like, do you have like?
If you want to test that next time you get on your Xbox, see if you have 2K, because I got 2K on Game Pass, so we could do our little league thing.
Well, he got Game Pass
I got Game
too,
Pass too,
so he'll be able to.
But like, I had to
somebody
pay,
who doesn't have Game Pass.
Well, I had to pay like $15 for it. Like, he shouldn't. The thing with Game Share is he shouldn't have to pay for it. Like, it should be available in his library, like for him to download. So just see if it's available for you to download.
It's on Game Pass.
But it'll say, it's still on Game Pass now. He'd have to test that with a game that's on Game Pass that somebody can't have Game Pass, and somebody would have to have it.
Who do you game share with?
Josh, who Game Passes.
Everybody got
Everybody we know does this shit.
Everyone in the
literally maybe not.
I don't think Dev does.
Yeah, I don't think Dev does. I mean, Jordan might not. I game share with Jordan. He might not, but he might. I don't know. Okay.
Get Dev and Jordan to link up, or Dev and Slater.
Game Pass, the best thing going. I think Dev
or Dev and C.
Pass.
I game share with Jordan, so let me see.
Man, Game Pass is out here. Don't tell me nothing about PlayStation Now.
Because I think C has Game Pass, but I don't think Dev does.
I can ask if he has Game Pass Ultimate and go see if there's a Game Pass Ultimate game in there and install
PlayStation
it.
Now is trash.
Okay.
Facts. It's horrible.
No,
but yeah, I think that was all I had. That was all I had. I had some notes about Destiny and just
Destiny 2 Beyond Light.
So yeah,
Game Pass
2 Beyond Light. Is for somebody that played Destiny 1, had a great time playing that shit, even though there was a lack of content in the beginning. I mean, Destiny 2 just kind of felt like Destiny 1.2. And then it wasn't well received in the beginning. So it basically got shat on, for lack of better terms, by the community in the beginning. And it slowly started to get better and better. It almost had like a Fallout 76 Rebirth or a No Man's Sky. It's taking that on. But I still don't, me personally, I still don't feel, or I'm not sure if it's enough to bring gamers that played like me or Josh or Lance or people that were on it like that back to that title. Like, but it's still going, and Microsoft is clearly invested in this.
If you're throwing it on Game Pass, yeah, because it's not going to cost you anything except a little bit of time. Like, yo, let me see if I want to get back in this. All you got to do is download it. No upfront cost.
I just want to play Grounded.
No,
Microsoft. That's all I want to do. I just want to play Grounded. That's it. That's all I want with life, right?
Game Pass is
and Wasteland 3 coming on Game Pass as well. August 28th.
Everything's on Game Pass. Why not?
August 28th. It's going to be dope.
See. I might check it out. I don't know. I probably won't. I mean, I could.
It's XCOM, but better, I think. I think it has the potential to be better.
I still got to play Gears Tactics.
Which is XCOM, essentially.
But Gears.
Correct.
That's it. And Gears is great.
Correct.
And Dragon Quest 11, we're getting that too. Dragon Quest 11S.
Dragon Quest.
Classic JRPG. Can't beat that. I mean, and we actually have a date for that, December 4th. That was the biggest thing also, is that nothing had like dates. It was a lot of like things that had no date, and a lot of stuff that was like
holiday 2020.
2021.
It was all
late 2021.
Sony did. Everybody did the same shit. It was literally everybody's own version of what they would have done at E3, and then that's it.
And then Sony had shit that was like 2022. It was like, don't even tell me it's 2022.
Yeah,
I prefer you do what Microsoft did, which is like,
show me nothing.
Don't tell me 2022.
They coming soon.
How does that help me? 2020.
Coming soon. Do what they do with Elder Scrolls 6. It was like coming soon. They showed that big ass
damn well
pan at E3 like 2 years ago.
Elder Scrolls was not 6, soon. They were just like, it's coming.
We know damn well that shit gonna be in 2026. Like, come on, son. You know that shit.
Because look, Microsoft just like, yo, just get everything out the way because Halo. Just move everything out the way. We don't nothing getting any dates, no years. Just move everything out the way.
Think it's gonna be co-op?
Oh, it is. They confirmed that. As a matter of fact, they confirmed that it was 4-player. That's all. Halo's always been that, and it'll always continue to be that. And that's another big selling point for Halo is the co-op. And I think they all but confirmed that. I think even 4-player co-op, because that's what all the previous ones were.
Yeah.
Halo Reach had an amazing co-op campaign.
So that sounds like SGA will be teaming up to do some co-ops and
we got some Halo streaming content coming when Infinite drops.
Getting some YouTube clips.
Some 4-player co-op Infinite gameplay coming.
Some Xbox Series X gameplay coming from me. He might have Series S gameplay. I don't know what Dre's gonna have. I think Series X probably. No.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for them to announce when we can pre-order.
And I'm dropping that shit. I'm glad they're taking their time, because that stimulus check rolling right in time, almost. Just getting there kind of close.
And they're kind of close indeed.
Coming in there kind of close, right in time. That's what they wait. That's what they're waiting on. They're waiting for this next stimulus check. Watch it happen. Stimulus check.
More
boom.
Discussion about that. So, thank you for joining us for the conversation here about the Xbox Games Showcase. Give me a rating for the show, 1 to 10.
7.5.
I was in that range. I was gonna say like 8, just because of Halo.
I say 7.5 because they talked about a lot of mic drop moments, and I needed like 1 or 2 more. Like I needed a Knights of the Old Republic, or I needed
10.
Like it would have just shot up another 2 points off rip.
It didn't give you that because it's coming in 2022.
Yeah, right, exactly.
I hear that. Just show me a fucking lightsaber or something.
Oh, man.
Something.
That
Just
would be
anything. What other title did we talk about them potentially showing? And they
Titanfall.
Oh boy. Shut it down. I would have lost it if it was Titanfall.
My goodness. You're not the
only. We would have had to record this episode right then and there.
Right. That would have been live reaction.
That would have been pressing matter. That would have been a pressing, and then it would have led the show. But
facts.
That's I give it a 7.5. I should give it a 7 because of that. But I'll hold off because it's Microsoft.
Yeah.
And I have a minor 0.5 bias right there.
So I'm coming with 8 just because I'm an OG Halo gamer since day one. So, and because of that, and because of return to form, or presumably what should be return to form, get 8
with some extra seasoning.
Yeah, sure. A little seasoning, correct. Just a little bit.
Hey, when I got my Xbox for the very first time, Halo 2 was my very first game.
Oh man!
So you know where I stand when it comes to Halo.
That was my first Halo, my actual Halo, not just watching this dude play.
Halo 2 multiplayer. Oh my goodness, that was on top of the world right there. Couldn't anything touch that. Nothing could touch Halo multiplayer at that time. And I'm hoping that's what this end of the year is coming with, because by then, the Modern Warfare buzz, by the time we reach the end of the year, we'll kind of have been like, okay, we've been playing this for a year now. Like, it'll have dwindled down a little bit. Obviously, we're getting a new Call of Duty. Who knows what that is, but they got to compete with the Chief. So we're going to see what that's looking like shooter-wise.
That's going to be a Black Ops. And you think Battlefield 6 you think a Battlefield Modern is next year? It's got to be next year.
I don't think it's this year. It ain't this year.
Yeah, it's got to be next year.
But that whatever that Black Ops title is, they got to compete with the Chief.
Or maybe
it's coming with classic multiplayer.
Battlefield might not have to, because they haven't released any new information on this new Call of Duty yet. They just been halfway kind of trying to tease it into Call of Duty.
Well, they got to do something.
Maybe
they're gonna have to have an answer for the Chief. Hail to the Chief.
Matter of fact, Battlefield gonna wait until Halo done.
Right. It's the next year holiday, Battlefield 6 holiday 2021.
Correct. See me on that.
Because they don't want this Chief smoke. But yes, again, thank you for joining us for another episode of the Flash and Dash podcast. This has been our coverage of the Xbox Games Showcase 2020, part of the Summer of Games Game Fest. Thank you for joining us. It's been real. You can catch us on all the social media outlets at SGA Flash and at SGA Dash, Twitter, Instagram, all of those good platforms. And check out the main Sports Gaming Anonymous Facebook page. Again, we're also on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. We're all over the place, baby. Check us out. Coming in hot. Peace out.